go back and test this. Testing. All right, so sound should be good. We are live now. Welcome everyone to the Crypto Boss Andrew family. If you guys are new, appreciate if you hit that like, subscribe button, share the video with your friends, and we do have a Telegram chat. Feel free to join. That link is in the bio below, depending on if you're on TikTok or YouTube. So right now, Bitcoin is at 27,300. Just a few minutes ago, I did post a video on YouTube, and I also, about 15 minutes ago, posted a video on... No, 15 minutes ago, I posted a video on YouTube about Bitcoin, and 5 minutes ago, I posted a video on TikTok about it. But so let's just kind of go through it again, though. So if you missed that, you know, we can go through it again. So I saw this rounded top on Bitcoin on the daily chart. Usually those are very bearish. So I mean, usually you get the dub, and we're seeing our first red candle. It's also, as of right now, a bearish engulfing candle, meaning you could put this red candle inside of this little itty bitty green candle that you had yesterday. But yesterday Bitcoin's price basically went sideways, so that's why that's the case. But that basically means that you're at a top. I mean, just looking at the TA, that's what it means. Now, 4-hour chart does look bullish to me because the RSI is low. But then you have to go down to the smaller time frames, because the smaller time frames have to reverse or be bullish as well, and if they're not, then the 4-hour chart probably won't play out. And you see the 1-hour chart right now. 1-hour chart's trying to make like a double bottom or a higher low slightly, but it made a lower high when it got overbought. So now we can go down to the 15-minute chart and see how that's acting. The 15-minute chart right now has made a lower high again. So to me right now, 15-minute chart is suggesting the 1-hour chart is probably going to make a double bottom or roll over and make a slightly lower low. But overall, the smaller time frames are saying we're still bearish, meaning the 4-hour chart probably won't play out to the upside, and the daily chart is probably going to keep dumping. And at some point, it will need a dump. So your next support for Bitcoin is 25,200. That is what I am calling will happen. Not financial advice, but if I was trading this, I would be in a short right now, just based off this. Now, if you want to be in a safe short, you could wait for the 1-hour chart and 4-hour chart to get overbought again and make a lower high for confirmation of a downtrend. You could definitely do that. But macro time frame, the daily chart looks bearish to me, and I would at least say 25.2 is going to happen. If the RSI is completely oversold on the daily chart, by the time that happens, that's a higher low on the daily chart at least, and that would mean that you could probably keep going up. But short term, at least 25.2 is the most likely scenario right now, just looking at the chart. So I'm calling it short for Bitcoin short term, maybe over the next few days to 25,200. Could go low, we'll see, but that is the first stop for Bitcoin. And with that being said, that probably means that a lot of altcoins will bleed out. Such as Jasmy and other ones. Ethereum, maybe. It depends on how low Bitcoin goes, but that is kind of what Bitcoin is looking like. Short term is at least 25K is going to be the first step. Appreciate the likes. So that is what I'm looking at. What is my strategy? Well, if you're talking about how I look at the charts and the TA I look at the stock RSI. That basically, it's very, from what I found, it works the best for me, trying to figure out if a coin is overbought or oversold. And then I just do, obviously, trend analysis. Are we in an uptrend or are we in a downtrend? And I look at basically these 4 time frames. The daily chart I look at the 4-hour chart, I look at the 1-hour chart, and if I'm doing like day trading, which I'm trying to get away from now, I look at the 15-minute chart. So sometimes I just look at the 15-minute chart, even if I'm not day trading it, just to kind of see what's going to happen next on the larger time frame. So those are the 4 time frames I look at. I look at all time frames, but those are the 4 I look at the most frequently. And then obviously I go off of support and resistances. So I would say I use those 3 things: is trend analysis, support and resistances, and then obviously stock RSI. And sometimes I also look at the moving averages, which I think the 200-day moving average, which is the yellow line, I think that's very accurate. Sometimes the price uses that as resistance or support more so than any other one, but beyond that, I usually use just those first 3. So if you guys have a request you would like me to look at, let me know and I can look at them. We are live on YouTube, so if you guys want to see the entire screen, and you guys can go over there. Whoops. So again, we're live on YouTube. But yeah, that's kind of a very quick rundown of what the market's doing. I did look at Jasmy on before. I made a video on YouTube about Jasmy earlier. To me, it looks bearish still, but yeah, Bitcoin Jasmy right now looks bearish to me. One more thing we can look at. is the Fear Greed Index, which is currently right now, the Fear Greed Index is at, if you guys can read that, it says 64. So we are in greed. Last week, or yesterday, we were at 61. Last week, we were at 64, where we are now. And last month, we've been in greed. So usually you want to take profits when people are greedy. But that's, I think, if you're trading short term. Long term, the next update happens in 4 hours. Long term, though, unless you're in extreme greed, I don't think you're going to see a major capitulation of the crypto asset. Obviously, that could change, right? But usually you don't see a major capitulation of a drop of 10% more in Bitcoin unless you see extreme greed. So you're getting close. So I'd be, cautious, have your stop losses in place or whatever. But that's kind of where we're getting close to extreme greed. So just be cautious of that. Have that in the back of your mind. But yeah. So Spider, let's look at ING. Spider wants me to look at INJ, which I think is Engine. It's on Binance. You got the daily chart, just had a wick up to $5, so that's a very nice thing that we're looking at. That was a fast move to the upside, but you could say that this is the type of trend you're in right now. So, the upsloping support will put you at around, if you were to fall right now, you couldn't lose $3.33 or $3.35 to still be bullish on this trend. Daily chart, I don't know. Stock RSI is not here. It is here on the other one. You got the 4-hour chart right now, which is trying to use the 200-day moving average as support, and it's not doing that right now. I guess what I can do is just refresh the page, and then it should update with the stock RSI. Yep, it does. I have to get the ticker, so bear with me. So going back to this, INJ right now, on the daily chart, you have more downside in the price action on the RSI. The 4-hour chart right now, RSI is completely oversold. You're trying to get this bounce off the 200-day moving average, so you could get the bounce here. We'll see. The 1-hour chart is oversold. You lost the 200-day moving average on the 1-hour chart, so that's kind of a bearish sign. And the 50-minute chart right now has also lost the 200-day moving average. So to me right now, and if you go back to the 4-hour chart, you haven't lost it on the 4-hour chart, but you are not at the upsloping support line, which is around $3.35. And eventually, as time goes on, it will get higher and higher. But that's kind of what we're looking at for INJ. If you go much lower than 350, it gets kind of sketchy for INJ, and that's what I'm looking at. You should be getting the bounce pretty quickly. It's not going to happen right away, but if you don't hold 350, in my humble opinion, I would say that's bearish for INJ. So that's kind of what we're looking at. We can also put the support and resistances. So obviously that's a local high. That's going to be a major resistance when we get back to $5. That was a major local low right here at 240. You could just call 240 support. And then just shorter term, you definitely have decent support at around 380, which is where we are right now. The more times you test the support, the more likely you are to break it. So to me right now, INJ cannot lose. You don't want to lose 380, but if you do, you can't lose 350 just due to the upsloping support line. So that's what I'm looking at right now for INJ. The R's, everything below the 4-hour chart does suggest you should get the bounce, but daily chart does have more downside, so it's still a little risky as far as that goes. Because if you're doing a swing trade, daily chart could still push the smaller time frames down. So just be cautious of that. So you have support at 380. If that doesn't hold, you have more support at 240 or 235, and then if that doesn't hold, you'd have a nice move to 125. So that's just kind of what I'm looking at right now for INJ. Smaller time frames look bullish for bounce. Larger time frames still have a little more downside in, such as the daily chart. Daily chart still looks a little bit bearish for INJ. But yeah, so that's kind of it for INJ. Hop on over. No one's watching on YouTube, but we are live on YouTube. So that's it for INJ. That's kind of my analysis on that. It's a little bit risky right now. I believe you're going to break this support because you're not at the upsloping support line. Daily chart has more downside, and you've tested the support multiple times, and now you're breaking through it. So to me, 380 is probably not going to hold, and you can see that happening right now. You're falling through that level. So I guess the coin I did want to talk about is GPT. I think this has a really unique use case. It's obviously the new AI that everyone's talking about. You can just look. It's only 12 days old, I believe. This is kind of a degen coin for sure, but this is one I have. I only put 100, not even $100 in. Well, probably $100 with gas fees and everything, but I put 0.05 ETH and we'll see what happens. I bought this coin at $1 million. It went up to 3 million. I sold slightly above 1 million as it started falling down. And I'm glad I did, because now the market cap is below 90,000, but he's trying to get the bounce right now. And there's been a lot of FUD that's going on with this coin, but I can see right now that they're going to get listed hopefully next week on CoinMarketCap and CoinGecko. That should help. Right now you're using this as good support. And there's also buybacks happening, so I can't really see us going much lower than this, than 90K, but anything's possible. But yeah, I kind of look, you're getting some buy pressure right now. Volume is pretty low at this point. It's only 24K. So it's kind of, like I said, DJ move. But if it does pay off and assume it gets traction again, even if it, I mean, the all-time high right now is 30x away. So I'm not going to go too much into this, but that's one I am invested in because I believe there's a lot of upside with limited downside risk at this point. But I also only put $100 in because if I do lose it, then I only lose $100. If I make money, maybe I make a few thousand on it. So, yeah. I mean, yeah, that's all I'm going to say about that. I don't want to get too much into that. Okay, I don't know what happened. I don't know where I lost you guys. Sorry about that. But we're back. Apparently it says my TikTok time for the day is up because Anyways, but yeah. So the coin I was talking about was GPT. I'm bullish on this right now, but I don't want to go too much into it. If you missed it or if you didn't see much of it because of the limit I had on TikTok, it is on YouTube if you want to go watch it there. But anyways, that's kind of what we got going on. I'm in GPT-4 right now. That's what I was talking about. So if there's any other requests, I'll look at them. Otherwise, I guess that's kind of it. When the RSI does a divergence, when is your entry? It depends because I use multiple time frames to make an entry. But if we just go like the daily chart, right? Ideally, this can't always happen, but ideally you want to see the daily chart being oversold. And when I say oversold, I mean like below 20. You would even like to see it bottom out at 0. Then you look at the 4-hour chart. 4-hour chart is ready for an entry. Like I said, because the daily chart is high, it's a little sketchy until it gets at least below 20. The 4-hour chart, though, is ready for an entry. Then you go down to the 1-hour chart. 1-hour chart is also completely oversold. That's ready for an entry. The 15-minute chart is ready. So only thing you're waiting for is the daily chart to be oversold again. But some of these time frames will get bounced. So what you could do, I wouldn't recommend DCing into a trade. But daily chart, once that gets, right now that is at 51. If that goes below 20, you could enter a trade. I would personally like to wait until it gets the bounce or until it goes to 0, and then you look at the smaller time frames. But like I said, I look at the daily chart, 4-hour chart, 1-hour chart, and 15-minute chart for entries when I'm day trading. But yeah. It is back about 380 now, so we'll see what happens. It won't be a horrible place to get an entry, but like I said, then you would have higher risk because of the daily chart. So personally, if I guess I was going to enter a trade, not financial advice, but this is an example of what I would do if I was going to enter a trade. I'm not going to, but if I was, I would like to see the daily chart get lower. But if I wanted to enter right now, I don't think it'd be a horrible idea because you get the 4-hour chart, 1-hour chart, and 15-minute chart low. I would probably enter a trade at 380 with like a tight stop loss, maybe like 375 or something like that. Especially if I was using leverage, which I don't recommend. But yeah, so that's kind of how I do it. Anyways, if there's any other coin requests, I'll look at them. Otherwise, I guess that's kind of all I got. So I'll wait another minute or so for a coin request. Otherwise, I think I'm going to get out of here. But yeah. I think that's everything I wanted to talk about. Yep. So just to recap, Bitcoin has to get above 28,800 for the bulls to be bullish again. Obviously, that would be a higher high. If it doesn't do that, your next support is 25.2. I'm calling it 25.2 for sometime next week. And we'll see what happens. We could go lower, but that's at least the next support zone for Bitcoin. If you guys enjoyed this, appreciate if you hit the like, subscribe button. We have a Telegram chat. Feel free to join that. Check it out. It's free, so it doesn't hurt to join it. I'm trying to get that more active again, so appreciate if you would join that. So appreciate the follow as well. Tells of the crypto or whatever that says. So yeah, so with that being said, I think that's gonna wrap it up. We'll be back live Tuesday at 8 p.m. Central Time. Be there or be square. Until then, trade safe and have a great weekend. And I'll see you guys in the next live stream.